Fight Camp 1 was very good. Fight Camp 2, well, that could be even better. We got a world title fight. Galahad versus Dickens, Steel City versus Liverpool.
Hey, don't forget the big boys. We've got heavyweights as well.
Welcome everyone to the Dazn Boxing Show. This is Fight Camp Week 2. Whether you're watching this on Dazn or the Dazn YouTube channel, make sure you press that subscribe button. If you've not got the Dazn app, what are you waiting for? It's the only place to watch the action. We're right here in Matchroom Square Garden, as it's now being called. Tony Bellew, last week was good.
Yes.
This week, it could be a bit better.
This week has the potential to blow everything out the water.
Ooh.
Kid Galahad, Jazza Dickens.
Steel City versus Liverpool.
Yes, but you know, it's forget the cities, forget the regions, the postcodes, all that kind of nonsense. These two boys are genuine world-class fighters.
Yeah, genuine world-class.
And you just want to fulfill a lifelong dream. Both of them have got the opportunity on Saturday night, Addy, and it's all in their hands. You know, who's going to be the man who prevails, who wants it more, who's prepared right, and who's left it all till the last minute. We're going to find out this weekend.
Oh, I love those questions. We are going to find it. And you know where we start the show? Opening bell. Hey, you know what I find very interesting about these two as well? There's a little bit of needle there. Obviously, going back to 2013 when these guys first fought. Who do you think's learnt the most since that first fight, 8 years ago?
I think Jazza Dickens has took his show on the road. He's learnt an awful lot. He spent time in America, but at the same time, Galahad's had some big fights. So, you know, it's a proper genuine 50-50. We can't wait to see it.
Yeah, we talked about that fight back in 2013. Let's hear now from Kid Galahad, who talked about the first fight and what we can expect from this rematch.
No, Jazza is a tough fight for anyone, it doesn't matter what level. And you know, to be honest with you, I can't actually remember nothing from the first fight. I don't even remember what happened yesterday, let alone what happened 10 years ago. I'm not, you know, I just focus on what's ahead, and I'm focused on Saturday night and doing a job on Jazza Dickens.
Of course I have to take the opportunity, but not on his terms, you know. He might be slick, but I'm better, you know what I mean? I'm a good fighter, I know what I can do. He can be as slick as he wants, but slick doesn't inflict any pain on me, do you know what I mean? He can be slick as he likes, so I'll win the fight how I'm going to win the fight. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Talk about game plans and stuff like that. I don't really consider game plans too much because they go out the window when something's going well. You keep doing it, do you know what I mean? And you adapt on the fly when you can. So I'll be resilient in there, and I will also be able to adapt to anything that he brings.
No, Jazza is
Oh, I love it. Both fighters super confident, Tony. And they both should, right? Both of them very good fighters. Like you say, both of them definitely sort of world level fighters. Yeah. You've had that rematch with Nathan Keverly where you got your victory back. Yeah. What would Jazza be taking back from that 2013 defeat?
You're just a learning experience, you know, tired towards the end. So understands that someone like Kid Galahad is going to bring it for 12 rounds. Yeah. So, you know, go out there, you study your opponent, you study his weaknesses, you study his strengths, you pay attention to both of them, Addy. You know, he's got to go in there and he's just got to win rounds, round after round after round. And that's what it's about, you know, you can't go in there anticipating and expecting too much. You've just got to go in there, and it sounds really simple, me just saying win rounds, but that's what you've got to do. At this level, you can't afford to drop any rounds or be in close rounds. You just want to nail on the early rounds, keep pedaling through. Once you've won 9 rounds of a 12-round fight, it's done.
What's really interesting now is that the featherweight division all of a sudden in this country is an exciting one, right? We saw Lee Wood here last week. We've got Warrington versus Lara coming up as well. You got these two kids. Jordan Gill, let's not forget him. It's a hot division. Good fights can be made.
It's a brilliant division, and ultimately all the domestic guys are all there and thereabouts at world level now. No, Lee Wood literally announced himself on the world stage last week. We fought him in the semi-final of the Golden Contract, so we know all about him. For Jazza Dickens, this is the moment where he fulfills that lifelong childhood dream. Addy, this boy's been chasing this dream all his life, and he's now got the opportunity on Saturday night. Kid Galahad has got the exact same kind of opportunity as well, and he's also got a lifelong dream putting on show on Saturday night. But for me, I just feel it's Jazza Dickens' time now. I know he's come across the loss against Kid Galahad, but he will have learnt an awful lot from it. As I say, taking himself away to America, Kid Galahad hasn't changed anything. I don't see any change in his style from the first fight even. So there has been massive for Kid.
Both of them have fought for world titles. Jazza Dickens fought arguably right then a guy that was top 5 in the world pound for pound in Rigondeaux.
Yep.
You know, broke his jaw in that fight.
Yes.
Kid Galahad fought Josh Warrington 18 months ago for the IBF title. Who's learnt the most from those defeats in world titles?
Well, I think you have to look at Jazza Dickens. Jazza Dickens faced the best fighter out of the two of them in Guillermo Rigondeaux. That's undisputed, really, to be honest. Josh Warrington basically outpointed Kid Galahad. He outworked him, he outmanoeuvred him, he outthought him, and he roughed him up. So
some people thought Kid Galahad might have won that, though.
I can understand why they would think that, but I didn't think he did. I mean, I thought it was a close fight, but I just thought Josh Warrington picked up too many of the early rounds. And Galahad was too busy anticipating and watching Josh Warrington, just letting him nick the rounds. I think for someone like Galahad, he gets stronger as the fight goes on. He waits first, he likes to have a really good look at you in the early rounds, and then he likes to come on strong later as the fight goes on. But I just think looking at him today, he looks tired. He looks like he doesn't really feel like being there, and that's purely based on how he's feeling because of the weight manipulation and how he's doing it. And I think that's what you'll see. I think tomorrow you'll see a completely different person again. I think you'll see a person who's really cutting hard the scales. I think Jazza will look different tomorrow as well. Jazza's going to have to cut a little bit.
Looking good now in a suit, isn't he?
He looks good now in a suit. He's not guilty, and he looks fresh. He's happy. He's bubbly, and he's exactly how he should be on presser day.
What about this though? This is different for them. Fight camp. They're used to fighting in arenas, big arenas, right? Jazza's fought all over the world, we know that. That's going to be different here though, isn't it? Fighting in front of what, 400 or 500 people? You know, outdoors as well. Is it a case of who adapts to that quick enough?
A little bit, I think it's a more intense atmosphere. It's more enclosed, and you know they're going to be feeling nerves a little bit more. But at the same time, I just think once you get in a ring, Addy, it's a ring, and they're going to lock horns. There's going to be moments in this fight where both of them are going to have to suffer and endure a certain amount of punishment. It's who will adapt to absorbing that punishment who will win this fight. So we're going to find out.
Yeah, selling it well for us. It's going to be an absolutely fascinating fight between these two. Look, DAZN isn't just about fight camp. There's so much more stuff to get on DAZN.
Welcome to DAZN. See the biggest fights live and on demand. Get the most in-depth fight week experience. Join DAZN inside the training camps, press conferences,
you talk so much,
workouts, and weigh-ins. And the exclusive DAZN boxing show brings you all the latest news and interviews with boxing's biggest names every weekday.
All be thrown in the deep end in 2021.
Playback breaks down the biggest fights with the boxers, trainers and promoters that made them.
beautiful.
Experience some of the greatest stories in boxing through award-winning original documentary film.
Nobody wanted to fight him. He was killing everybody.
Unlock over 30 years of boxing brilliance in the DAZN archive and watch the fights that made the legends.
Pound for pound, the best in the world.
Welcome to DAZN.
Look who's joined us on the DAZN boxing couch, the one and only Liverpool's very own Jazza Dickens, who obviously headlines for us here at Fight Camp Week 2. He takes on Kid Galahad for the vacant IBF featherweight title. And look at him as well, he's dressed for the occasion. I like it, all blue, hint hint as to who he supports in the Premier League. Jazza looking in great shape, looking in great nick. You've waited for this, haven't you? Since that Rigondeaux fight many, many years ago, this is the one you've been waiting for.
Yeah, when I fought that night, I thought I need to be back up there on that level fighting in big fights, and it took me a long time to get there. Every single day thinking about it, even the dark times. Come back after that fight and I lost. From two losses back to back. I need to rejuvenate and replenish my career, and yeah, every single day about it, I thought about being here and I'm here now, so I've got to enjoy every second.
I spoke to you a couple of days ago and I looked at you on record in terms of where you've gone as well. Everyone has like these big shows, big arenas. You've taken yourself to America, you fought on the small hall shows. How good does it feel to be back main stage, main event headlining?
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. It's probably the biggest platform now. I've had to fight in front of, but it doesn't feel like that because of the experience that I've had along the way. I try not to look at it from the fans' perspective, look at it from a fighter's perspective. No matter where it's going to be, I'll fight the same. Whether it's in behind closed doors like I was last year, the year before I was in Dominican Republic and like a huge club in front of like 20 people or something like that, and now it's here in Eddie's Garden, so it's fantastic. A fight to fight, innit?
You're a diligent student, Jazz. You know, you put everything into your craft. You've advanced and progressed as you do, and he keeps telling me, don't stop being biased and just say it as you see it. Talk to me about your development and how you feel it's come along to the position where you're at now, because this is the biggest fight of your life. But your development, listen, you're not about the product at the end. You've been about the progress, bit by bit by bit, and now you're coming to the top of the hill. How do you feel and where did it come?
Yeah, well, that's been my sort of the way I've lived my life all these years. So I'll be in the gym and I'll spar, I'm going sparring tomorrow, but I'll hammer myself today. Knowing that we're sparring tomorrow, I know that I mightn't get the best of the sparring if I'm stiff or sore, but I always hammer myself so because I know there's an end goal. I know there's like, don't be slacking today, saving tomorrow. Every single day I give it me all, and it's been like that for 18 years to come to this place, as you say. So the progress and the development that I've had through yourself and through MTK, it matched me perfectly. Whether it was consciously or not, the Golden Contract Tournament was great for us, wasn't it? But it was like the development to be here. They're going by the odds in this fight. They're going by Galahad fighting 2 years ago against Wellington for his world title. 18 months ago we fought, and like, if I was fighting, if I hadn't fought for 18 months, would I be ranked where I am now? No chance. No chance would I. So it's like the development's with me and the progress is with me, and I know that.
You said, you can tell me if I've misquoted this, you said you wouldn't like to be in his position fighting you. What did you mean by that?
When I said that, that's what I was referring to. Like, if I'd been out the ring for 18 months and I was fighting him on the form that I'm in now, the confidence I've got, it's not fair.
You said this last week, and I said it before. Activity and non-activity is the biggest killer for a fighter. Inactivity is the worst thing. We've seen it last week with Zucan. I'm not saying that's why Lee Wood beat Zucan. Lee Wood just
But it does play a part.
It plays a massive part. Zucan last week showed us that an inactive fighter, his stats, his punch stats, his numbers are usually way up there. Last week they weren't. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's because Lee Wood, I agree 100%, it's because of the tactics Lee Wood disposed and the way he done it. But if Zucan would have been an active fighter,
he'd have been better, wouldn't he?
Much better, mate, and it gives him a better opportunity. Now, Barry Awada's not been, Kid Galahad's not been an active fighter. He's been someone who's tried to pick and nail his shot here and there, where you go. Will we see that play a big effect on Saturday night, Jazz?
I'm not banking on it from his perspective, because I can't. He could have a great night, he could be in the form of his life. They say he's been in the gym all the time. Of course he is a professional fighter, where else is he going to be? But what he hasn't been is fighting regularly.
It's
like
different,
this.
Jazz, you know.
You can be in the gym all you want, can't you? You can diet all you want, but you're still not making weight. It's making weight and fighting regular. That makes a better fighter, a more active fighter. It can go a bit too far, like where he's doing it all the time, and he ends up looking like me, but it can go against you then, but in the situation it's gone for me.
We know boxing is a lot mentally as well, right? You've got to be mentally on it. When you look back or think back about 2013, does that play any part in how the fight plays out on Saturday?
I think it would if I dwelled on it. It's forgotten about. I say it's forgotten about because
different guy now.
Yeah, well, I would also say that, wouldn't I? I would also say that as a self safety thing, to keep myself safe mentally. I would also say that, but I'm not saying that because of that reason. I'm saying that because I have forgotten about it, and it's gone. That's gone. It was a long time ago. I've had bigger fights since, and I don't really see it as a rematch, if that makes sense. To see him fighting a really good fighter, a world-class fighter, and why wouldn't I be to the world title? Considering
that you have fought in small halls, you've gone around the world fighting as well. You've had your defeats, right? You've had your licks. You picked yourself up. What would winning the IBF title be like for you on Saturday evening?
Everything and nothing at the same time. I asked you, didn't I? Well, I asked everyone what it was like. I was speaking to someone else. I asked Carl Flock years ago what it was like to win a world title, and he went, "It was all right." You broke my dreams. You just shattered my dreams as he was walking away.
He asks me all the time. So we spent 3 hours driving here the other month, and then 3 hours driving back, and he always wants to know what it's like to win the world title. I said, you're going to experience it soon enough, don't worry. But listen, you are one of the most dedicated people I've ever seen to boxing, without a shadow of a doubt. Your story, your background is one of the toughest I've ever heard and known. Without it doesn't even come close. So Saturday night, mate, you go out and you fulfill your dreams, and what's going to be will be. But I know you can do it. You know you can do it. Just go and prove it to the world now.
Thank you. That's what you said there, your dreams. So it's not about the metal and the leather, it's about the dreams for me.
I like it. All right, enough of boxing talk. I want to play a game with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is the game I'm going to play, actually. Obviously, look, September 2013 was the time you guys fought, so I'm going to go back to September 2013. Tone, don't look. What are you looking for?
I'm not looking, mate. If you're asking
and I'm
me
going to ask you
questions...
some questions about what happened in September 2013. The first one, who held the IBF featherweight title in 2013?
Are you asking me that question or Jazza?
Both of you can get involved in this. I'll give you three names.
Do we have to say every weight?
No, featherweight.
Featherweight.
Was it Billy Dibb,
Nishioka? No,
Gamboa, or Gradovic?
Billy Dibb.
Yeah.
Billy Dibb?
Was Billy Dibb.
Billy Dibb, both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Wrong,
Nishioka...
both of you, wrong. Both of you.
Wasn't
There
great.
he's there shaking his head like, what's wrong with you,
Wasn't
lad?
Gradovic. Gamboa wasn't a world
It was
champion, was he?
Gradovic. Gradovic held
Was
the
it
IBF
Gradovic?
featherweight title. All right, this one should be easy. Both of you are football men. Which team won the Premier League in season 2012-13? Come on.
13.
United, City, or Chelsea?
Chelsea.
I'd go Chelsea, yeah.
Again, gentlemen, what's up with you? United.
The keys
Right,
to looking
start the last year, Alex Ferguson won it.
again if it comes in.
I can't even look at you, lad, because
Shocking,
if I look at
shocking.
him, it's going to start
Right,
laughing.
this one I don't expect any of you to get. Highest grossing film in September 2013 was
I'll
either
know this.
Iron Man 3,
I'll know this.
Hunger Games, or Despicable Me 2.
Did you say Iron Man was there?
Iron Man 3 was there.
Oh, Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
And was it the first
Hunger
Despicable
Games
or Despicable Me 2?
Doesn't matter. Look at him. Despicable Me 2.
Buying time, isn't he?
It's buying time.
like
I
the
bet the
chase.
director's in his ear, isn't he? We're buying
It's not
time.
Hunger Games.
I've got to say, Despicable Me, I've watched it 15 times with my kids.
Despicable Me.
I think Iron Man's a big franchise, you know. Oh, them Hunger Games, it's
What do you think?
Okay, I'll just say Iron Man 3. I'm not sure.
It was Iron Man 3. Well done.
Got
It
get
was on 3,
gotta
Tony.
get one
It's
somewhere,
on the
lad.
board.
Right, I'm going to lose now, Jazz. I can't be having you losing.
All right, this one's going to be
Come on,
interesting.
so my confidence will be
I
shot
know,
here.
lads. I've got to lose these next two.
Bitcoin, bit of Bitcoin cryptocurrency question here. What was the price of a Bitcoin in 2013? Was it £14, £1,400, or £140? Bear in mind, can I tell you what it's worth now?
Yeah.
23 grand for one Bitcoin. What was it worth
I know
in 2013?
what it was, and I'm going to say what it wasn't. £1,400, it wasn't.
Okay, go on. Easy, Tone. Don't get the beat on me.
A wasp.
What was it then? 1,400, 14,
Sure.
or 140. What do you think, Jazz?
I'm saying 14 because I didn't even.
Jazz, I've just said it weren't 14.
What was I still in school then?
You must have
I
been
was fighting for the business title then, really. I can't even remember it.
Can't
so I'm gonna
start
say
off that expensive.
14. 14, I'm saying.
I'm going to say 14, but I know it's not.
It was 140.
Told you, Jazz.
Jazza, you've got every single question wrong, which means you're going to have a good night on Saturday.
Do
Every
you?
single question
That's what I
wrong.
was saying.
I told you it wasn't 1400. You're supposed to say 140, Jazz.
All right, time now for Jabs with Adam and Nick, where they look back on last weekend's action and look towards the undercard of what we've got coming up on Saturday night.
Let's throw some jabs. Thank you very much, Addy. Welcome back to Jabs with the Fight Disciples here on Dazn. I'm Adam Cattrall, Nick P alongside me. Time to get stuck into quite a lot of conversation about Fight Camp Week 2. But before we do that, Nick, I think it's only fair that we have a little bit of a look back at Fight Camp Week 1. Yes. Because as we previewed the show last week, we looked at the undercard, we looked at the main event, we kind of picked out the fights that were 50-50, the ones that were going to excite us, and where there was a possibility for someone maybe to shine. We had two guys, in my opinion, shine last week. We had a great fight between the cruiserweights for the British, the Commonwealth, and the European title. But for me, on the undercard, it was all about Jack Cullen. And then in the main event, Lee Wood did his thing and came to the party and announced himself on the world level.
It was just absolutely outstanding, wasn't it? I've got to be honest, when we lost Conor Benn with literally hours to go before the first bell, I feared the worst, you know, and not for us here at the Zone, of course, but for let's be honest, for Eddie Hearn and his garden party, I thought, oh no, you've overmatched Cullen, you've overmatched Lee Wood, the big cruiserweights just may not gel, it just may not. I thought this could be an absolute disaster. But I tell you what, Eddie must have done his lottery numbers, because every fight delivered, especially Cullen. And I tell you what, how good was Lee Wood? Outboxing Kanju and then stopping him to take away that belt. Absolutely magnificent stuff.
The guy that stole the undercard last week, because we were trying to pick out where the star of the undercard was going to come from on last week's show, Jack Cullen. The little levers meat cleaver, mate. And that, I won't name the brand, but he's obviously got the brand tattooed on his back as well. Hopefully he's been thrown some fresh clothing this week. But what a performance against Ebanie Bridges.
It was absolutely outstanding. Nobody saw that coming, you know, but you could smell it all during fight week. You know, around fight camp, we had him on the show. The lads were speaking to him. Addy and Tony Bellew were chatting to him, and you got a feeling that he was there to do a job, that he had this kind of crazy focus. Now with Yildirim, of course, he's just come out of the big show. He's just fought Canelo. What momentum's he got left? What kind of spirits he got left? I'm sure he got a career best payday. But I thought he was coming here to get a win, to get going with Matchroom, to move his career forward. You know, as we know, the little lever himself isn't undefeated. But I tell you what, he arrived with fresh momentum, up at 12 stone, whatever's gone on in his personal life, he was so focused. And when you watch that fight, I'm watching it unfold and I'm thinking, there's not many people in the world that are beating this kid tonight. He's here with his friends, with his family, in fight camp, and he is going home with a W. And he, again, just like Lee Wood, he does an absolute number on the favourite. Loved it.
Absolutely. It was, mate. It was a tremendous performance. Right then, here we go. Let's throw into this week, because we're not going to go backwards and coming forwards when we tell you this. As you're watching this at home, it is all about that main event, the IBF World title between Jazza Dickens and Kid Galahad. We'll give you a preview on Saturday as we build up towards the event itself. Today, we're concentrating on the undercard. As you look down this undercard, where are you looking at, Nick, for the start? Where's it coming from on the guys a little bit further down the list?
For me, it's the co-main event, and let's just hope it remains the co-main event, because unlike Wood and Kanju, this one can't carry the card. So let's just keep everything crossed that this main event, which is outstanding, two Brits going for the world title, stays in place. But I love the Fabio Wardley, Nick Webb, chief support, and there's why. Wardley, you know, former white-collar boxer, no amateur experience, managed by Dillian White, raw as hell, but has got freakish power, one-punch knockout power. But I like this fight because Nick Webb, he's a strange one, Nick Webb. Tons more experience than Wardley. You know, boxed quite a lot as an amateur, ABA finalist. I remember he boxed Joe Joyce a couple of times in the amateurs. And as a pro, he was undefeated, and then suddenly he ran into the crazy superstar that is Dave Allen, got absolutely sparked out. And that's Nick Webb's legacy. Up until this moment in time, Nick Webb's boxing legacy is getting sparked out by Dave Allen. He's better than that. He deserves more than that. He's put a lot of years into this sport. And I tell you what, if he turns up and he gives Wardley a fight, if he drags Wardley into deep waters and Nick Webb can get a win here, he could completely revitalise his career, just like Dave Allen did when he knocked him out.
It's going to be interesting because you've touched upon the right thing there. Which Nick Webb is turning up for this fight at the weekend? He got beat, obviously, against Dave Allen. Then he got beat a couple of fights later against the journeyman by the name of Sokolowski as well. He has rebuilt, and he's rebuilt slowly and steadily. It's a big opportunity for him, man. He's on the Zone this weekend. He's taking on Fabio Wardley, who a lot of people are high on, 11-0 in the professional ranks. If he turns up, like you say, it could be a bit of a fight. But I personally, from what I've seen of Nick Webb in the professional ranks, I think that he's probably on the same level as the Vallellis, the Lartis, and maybe even a touch below the Molinas that obviously our boy Fabio Wardley has already been involved with. So I would say that the favourite is Wardley going into the fight, but Nick Webb, if he turns up, he might give us a little bit of a knock. And I suppose that's the same for a lot of these fights on the undercard, if we're really, really honest. If we look a little bit further down, we've got Alen Babich. He's a bit of a character. A lot of people like him. He's most certainly blown up on social media, and he's taking on Mark Bennett, obviously, this weekend. Now, listen, Babich is the favourite coming into the fight. There's no doubt about that. But Bennett is durable. I don't think he's going to hurt Babich, if I'm honest. But if Babich hasn't got him out of there in 2 or 3 rounds, it might then all of a sudden become a little bit interesting because he's a durable dude. And I'd actually go as far as to say that Bennett might be a better boxer not brawler, boxer than Alen Babich. So if he can survive 2-3 rounds against Babich, we might end up with a fight on our hands.
Yeah, I think the issue we've got there, of course, is the fact that Bennett couldn't punch his way out of a wet paper bag, and that's an issue when you're a heavyweight. You know, and Babich is a marauding lunatic. You know, he's already talked about, you know, a superstar showdown with Hergovich, which would be a massive fight back on home soil for him. I'd be careful if I was him. You know, it's like the movie The Candyman. Don't say Hergovich's name 3 times consecutively, because he may well turn up Mr. Babich, and then you're going to be in serious trouble. But yeah, listen, I think just like Webb, Bennett has got everything to gain, absolutely nothing to lose. I just fear for his chin in this one because, you know, Babich loves these big occasions, and for as limited as he is as a boxer, he just comes alive when the lights come on, and I can see him getting a knockout of the night performance, if I'm totally honest.
The other fight that's caught the imagination, I suppose, of the fans is featuring Ebanie Bridges against Beck Connolly. Let's be straight, this is a reward, I think, for Ebanie Bridges. Last time out, she showed an awful amount of heart, did she, against Shannon Courtney, and she gained a lot of respect from people who thought that she was just a social media fighter. She's been given a fight here on Fight Camp, on Dazn, to go and showcase her skills and get a win. That's basically what this fight is for me. She's taken on a girl who's lost 5 of her last 6, and the win that Beck Connolly did pick up in those 6 fights was against the girl who was 5-35. I think this is all about Ebanie Bridges. It's a one-sided affair. And actually, if she does perform and does it in style, it's only going to start another narrative again as to how quickly she can get back in with someone like Shannon Courtney. Let's be really, really honest, Nick, a division at female bantamweight that isn't really full of deep talent.
For all the Clarissa Shields and the Katie Taylors out there, listen, they're at the peak. They're as good as any male world champion. But there is a gulf in class when you go deeper into these weight divisions. But you're right, this is a reward for Ebanie Bridges. What they both did on that night, what Bridges and Courtney did when they faced each other, was they delivered. They showed heart, guts, determination. Yes,
absolutely.
Still both very raw. Yes, both still very limited. But it was just a showpiece of women's boxing to say, yeah, we may not be former Olympians, we may not be on the skill level as some girls at the top of their sport, but we've got a lot of that, and we're willing to leave it all in the ring, and they both did that. So I don't begrudge Ebanie Bridges coming back to the UK, having a showpiece night herself, because you know what? I'd like to see the rematch down the line. Why not?
Why not, indeed? Listen, there you go. That's the undercard for Fight Camp Week 2. We'll keep stressing it, and I'm sure it'll be stressed throughout the course of the week with Addy and Tony Bellew as well. It is all about this main event, the IBF Championship of the World between Jazza Dickens and Kid Galahad. But there's a couple of little narratives there bubbling away on the undercard. Addy, back to you, mate.
Always great to hear from the guys of Jabs, Adam Cattrall and Nick Peake, giving us a bit of excitement for what we can expect on the undercard come Saturday night. I've now moved to the top of the wonderful Dazn bus, and look who's joined me as well. Look at him, Kid Galahad there, looking fresh, looking young, looking good to go. Kid, here we go, yeah, a rematch of 2013. When you look back to that fight 8 years ago, do you take anything from it? Is it a completely different Jazza Dickens, a completely different Kid Galahad?
100%, you know, I don't ever take anything from any fight. Even my last fight, I don't ever take anything. I'm just looking ahead. I'm thinking, how can I get better? You know, 8 years ago, we were physically, mentally different. Now, you know, we're both men. We were boys when we boxed each other last time, and now we're men. And I just believe, you know, he's got better in every department, but I believe I've got 10 times better in every department, you know, and I just believe on the night I'm going to be too clever, too big, too strong. There's nothing he can do what I can't do better, and when we get in there, it's going to show.
You fought for a world title recently against Josh Warrington, 18 months ago. What have you learned from that fight? It's a fight I know you thought you won. But looking back, can you learn anything from it, considering that you thought you won it? Yeah, 100%. Listen, the thing I learned is that you can never leave anything in anyone else's hands, you know. You've got to go in there and make sure, you know, you bring your judge and your referee to the fight. That is a judge, and that is
the referee, 100%.
What do you make of James Dickens or Jazza Dickens as an opponent, right? I mean, you look at him and he's improved as well, to be fair, since those losses to Rigondeaux and Patrick Ward. He's gone on again another level as well.
Listen, he's got better over the years, but I just believe I'm better than him in every department, you know, and I actually believe he believes that I'm better than him in every department. So I know he might come up here and say what they want to say, but I know when we're getting on Saturday night, he's going to come to fight. But, you know, when we get in there, he's gonna know real quick. You know, he's gonna go my way.
What about fighting here? Obviously different, right? You're fighting in Eddie Hearn's back garden. Me and you laughed about it. This is no back garden.
Yeah.
But it's a different experience, right? Less fans. Yeah, it's better than no fans, what we've had. But less fans here, a different type of atmosphere.
Yeah.
You looking forward to this?
You know the thing, to be truthfully with you, when you're in a fight, everything's just a blur to me. So it actually doesn't matter where the fight is, who it's against, I'm just tunnel vision on what I've got to do. And on Saturday night, it's just going to be the same as every other fight. You know, it don't matter if there's 20,000 or 50,000 here, or, you know, there's no one apart from the referees. It don't bother me. I'm just focused on what I've got to go and do and make sure I do a job on them, you know, because for me, it is life and death. That's how I treat every single fight. Yeah. It's not, you know, oh, yeah, you know, there's something else. There isn't nothing else for me. This is all or nothing for me. That's my mentality, and that's how it is for me. You come from a fantastic camp, the Ingle camp, that's produced so many champions, world champions, and sort of last 15, 20 years. Are you the next man to bring a belt home? 100%. You know, it's destined for me. You know, Brendan Ingle always said it. This is the next one coming through. You know, we've had Johnny Nelson, Junior Witter, Kell Brook, Nassim Hamed. The list goes on, and I'm the next one. When you look at the featherweight division, not just in this country but worldwide, exciting division, right? I mean, if you do get the belt, there is Gary Russell Jr. When I do get the belt. When you do get the belt, there is Gary Russell Jr., there is Navarrete. Leo Santa Cruz could come back down as well. Lee Wood, we saw on the weekend. Good division right now. 100%, you know, and I actually believe I am the best 126 pound in the world, and I know that, and on Saturday night you're going to see. You're a big 126 though, Gib. I mean, is 126, you think, your final destination? You think you are going to move up the weight classes? I could do one day, you know, but right now, you know, I want to win everything at 126. That's my weight division, and I want to clean up in everything at 126. That's what I want to do. I want to get this win on Saturday night, do a job on Jazza Dickens, and we'll see where we go from there. You spoke about in the build-up to this that you're going to do this in devastating fashion. Yeah. What's devastating fashion? Are we talking a knockout? Is it a case of just outclassing him? I mean, you can do a bit of everything, right? You got the power. A bit of everything. Box. Listen, when I get in there, I'm literally going to smash him from pillar to post. That's it. You know, I'm going to inflict as much pain as I can on the guy. Yeah. And you know, we've known each other for a very long time. I've known Lee Wood for a very long time. I've known kids in the past a long time. We've sparred hundreds of rounds, but it actually doesn't matter, because when you get in that fight, it's life and death, and that's how I see it. We're not going to be. It's different when you're sparring them 14-ounce or 16-ounce gloves. When you've got them little gloves on, you know, there isn't no friends in there. This is life and death. And when I get in there on Saturday night, I'm going to smash him. All right, let's take the mood down a bit. It's very, very serious right now. Let's play a couple of games with you. September 2013 is when you guys last fought. We're going to go back to September 2013, or the year. I will tell you this, though. I asked Jazza these questions, got none right. None right at all. Yeah, but he doesn't know what day it is. He took too many headshots, that's why. I'm not involved. All right, September 2013, who held the IBF Featherweight Championship? Now, I've got a few for you here. Gradovic, Gamboa, or Billy Dib? I say Gradovic. Gradovic was? The IBF won. All right, you're a football man. I know you know your football. Which team won the Premier League in 2012-13? Man United, Man City, or Chelsea? Not easy. I got this wrong, I'll tell you now. I think Chelsea. Chelsea's your final answer? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. You're wrong. It's United. United. Yeah. I see you gave me a little look there thinking I'm going to help him. I'm not going to help you. Bad guy. Highest grossing film in September 2013. Iron Man 3, Hunger Games, or Despicable Me 2? Iron Man 3. Is it? It is Iron Man 3. I've been watching them. You've been watching Iron Mans recently? Yeah, literally I'm on number 2 now. All right, and the final question. The price of Bitcoin in 2013, I will tell you now, the price of a Bitcoin now is 23,000. Yeah. What was the price of Bitcoin in 2013? £14, £140, or £1,400? £140. £140 it was? Yeah. Yeah? That's 3 correct. Yes. Well done, brother. No, good luck Saturday night, Kid Galahad. Obviously, look, main event against Jazza Dickens. It's going to be a good one. Yeah. It's going to be a great fight, yeah? 100%. I'm going to go in there and smash him and inflict some serious pain on the guy. Should be an absolutely fantastic fight. All right, if you want to know how you can get the Dazn app, this might help you.
Welcome to Dazn.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special.
At home or on the move, we connect fans to the heart of sport on any device. Easily browse the Dazn schedule to see upcoming fights or catch up on recent events. Never miss a punch by setting reminders that alert you on your mobile device.
Can Ryan Garcia continue his rapid ascent?
Navigate Fight Night with key moments. Replay the rounds or action you want to see again and again. Watch over 30 years of archive fights, award-winning documentary film, and the exclusive Dazn boxing show, bringing you all the latest news and interviews with boxing's biggest names every weekday.
They'll all be thrown in the deep end in 2021.
The best innovations, the biggest stars, the greatest fights. Only on Dazn.
By the power of magic, I'm back on the Dazn boxing sofa with our very own Tony Bellew. All right, look, we focused on the main card today. We've had, obviously, words from Kid Galahad and Jazza Dickens, both very, very confident, I think it's fair to say. Tomorrow, we focus on the undercard, and it is a very, very good undercard. Bellew, like you said, the heavyweights are back in town. It's going to be very good to see Babich.
I can't wait. I love watching Babich. I love watching Fabio Wardley.
Yeah.
You know, Webb can always punch. He's dangerous. So it's exciting times. You know, the big boys always provide that extra little bit of excitement. You never know what's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
Is one going to gas after 2 rounds? Is one going to bang one out after a round? You just don't know. So just buckle up. Buckle up, do whatever you need to do.
Buckle up. Indeed. Look, we're going to hear from Ebanie Bridges as well. She takes on Bet Connolly, which Ebanie Bridges always, she's controversial.
Yes.
You know, I think we saw that in the fight with Shannon Courtney. Shannon Courtney didn't like, let's just say, the way in which she kind of approached the fight. But I think she brings eyes on the sport and she can fight.
That's all that matters, Addy. You know, listen, there's a lot of talkers in this business. There's not many doers. You have to find out who's the talkers, who the doers are.
Yeah, and so far she's been doing.
She does it, she gets stuck in, you know, she's game. So let's just see where it's going to take her. I'm not too sure about how the levels of it at the moment. Yeah. Because, you know, as we've only seen it very briefly, but let's see. What I will say, she's willing to fight anybody.
She certainly is willing to fight everyone. Look, tomorrow's going to be an absolutely fantastic show. It is weigh-in days tomorrow here right on the Matchroom Square Gardens. We're going to hear from some of the fighters on the undercard as well. Make sure you tune in and make sure you get the Dazn app. If you've not got it, what are you waiting for? It is the only place to watch all the fights. Come here Saturday evening.